You're going to show us how to lift heavy things, huh?
Hang on, I'll turn that radio off.
Will you? That actually fits right in the middle, doesn't it?
You must have decided. I looked down, grabbed the drill, the other side, and voila.
That balance is like a balancing thing.
Must be on balance. I haven't had a beer yet. Tell a lie.
Jeez,
the major problem we had was amongst these die sets, not just being able to fit them on properly, because there's the old base plates down below here, absolute abortion. But over time they've added bits and taken away bits and whatever.
Yeah.
So the last 4 days I've been working on finding the balance of the major the guillotine part. And so I've extended the length of the frame compared to the old one, so that it can be a no-brainer for them just to pick it up and bring it straight into place. And you'll see it's very awkward. And I'll show you now how that will make it so much easier for them for maintenance. And having said that, we're going to make other improvements on it as well, changing the way, the whole philosophy of how this works. Between myself, Howie typical, he lives down in York. By the way, the one that wrote the book about the
Curvy Cape.
He's a tool and die maker, so he's going to be making the new die sets for the punches and that. And then my other colleague Andrew, he's going to make a die set to go in here. So instead of having this guillotine working like that, we're going to build a die set. We're going to scrap all this. Not at the moment, but that's the plan. We'll scrap it and we'll make a die set that'll go in here, and disconnect from and just have a soft connection between it and the piston. Because at the moment this is locked into the piston, and that ram has a different stroke to what's required. So everything's banging and hitting and that. So once we've established this die set, they'll be able to just pull the set out, do any repairs we need to do, or sharpening up and so forth, and drop that set back in again, pin it, and away we'll go. So this whole set on the old frame was hanging off the edge. And there was no way of supporting it properly. So that's what I've been working, and it's just been piecemeal, bit at a time, getting it so that we can be able to offer this up very easily for them to be able to take it off, because this thing fits on the main frame. So once this is all done, this will go back. We'll then drill the holes with the rotor broach and bolt it in place, and then they'll line this up, and then they'll line the tab punch and the secondary punch up in line with the rest of the roll form system. I don't need the earthen clamp. This is a monster, this thing, as you can see. It's very heavy, very awkward, and it's got to work in this plane. So I'll just show you what I've done. I made it so it can be just slide into place here, and drop it down, 2 bolts here, 2 bolts there, 2 bolts here, and it'll be robust, it'll be strong, solid, and away with all the problems that they had prior to that. Because originally this was fitted much further away, and then they had to bring it forward, and when they brought it forward, they sort of stuck little bits onto that subframe, what I call a cassette. And so this is the improvements I've been working on the last 4 days.
Yeah, looks good.
So the whole thing's a joint venture with 3 of us, each with our own workshops and that, working on making these improvements. So now the next stage now is we're going to get another dicing up into place. We need to just move a few things here. That's the old piece of slot. And now I'm going to be offering these up in order to be able to set the rest of the support mechanism that we need. I said this has got a little bit of an imbalance, so I might just add some length to that one. But the whole thing's just quite awkward. This is not the one I need at the moment, but this is the one I need to. So the other improvement I made here is before I pulled the whole thing apart off the original, was I'd established the thickness, between the distance between the two sets. And so I made this beam that's common to both sets. And so now it's a no-brainer. They just bring them hard up against that key, and that positions it that way. And in this direction, then I'm providing here a threaded box, and they'll be able to adjust that and then bolt it down. So what I need to do is to slot. I've also put some threads in here. These 2 are threaded, so they'll be able to use jacking screws to be able to jack and adjust that, and then I'll be slotting it here. It only had 1 bolt holding it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slot that. So I've just taken it off the mill, but it'll go back onto the mill again. It's just that argy-bargy, you know, as we're going.
Test and refit.
So I'll take this one off, and I'll now offer up the other one. And you're about to see. And I'll offer the other. So this one here will need to be set. Then I've got the beam, the secondary beam that'll go in here. And once I've got all that set, I know my distances. It'll go back to the mill. I'll do the slotting, and then I'll drop these back in, and then I'll mark and I'll put new bolt holes. Then I'll bring that up to the mill, and I'll drill and tap these sets, or these blocks actually. So that's this is the foot punch, and this gets the least amount of work. The tab punch is the one that gets the majority of the work. And then the guillotine that shears it off from as it comes through. So This was the awkward one. They had the problems all the time. Was to be able to get this off, they had to take that guillotine away.
Yes.
And the guillotine, the only way you could get the guillotine out was to juggle it and jiggle it around.
Yep.
Once we make this die set to go in the guillotine, it'll be a cassette arrangement. It'll go in here. All this will go away.
Yep.
And it'll be a much simplified and much more robust and more in line with how most die makers punch the shears are made. Now I'll just put 2 bolts in there to retain that, so we don't have a problem. We're getting bumped or whatever.
Oh, the end.
Just for safety's sake.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is a no-brainer now because it comes up. I've given it all that support.
Yep.
And it brings it into position.
Braces
it comes up against that beam. It's nowhere to go. It's right in position.
Yep.
It's easy. Put another one here. This side. Just for safety's sake. I haven't tried this since I did this beam.
Yep.
And there'll be more stiffening to go in here, but I need to first of all get that tab punch in. Now we'll see if my plan works out.
Does that other
I should
need
be able to
come
get
out?
this in without having to remove. So there we go. So that'll come up against there. The other one will come beside it. I'm happy now. That's starting to look pretty good. That's pretty cool. Not having to remove this.
Yeah, for sure.
Because once we make the die, once we make the die set with a guillotine inside of it, with a slip-in type cassette, we won't have to be taking this off.
No, that's right.
But even if they've got to take it off, it's an easy fix.
And the rear.
So that's the improvements that that I'm trying to bring about on this machine. So it wasn't in the plan to do this, but I just got to a point where it had to be done.
Yeah.
So now we can put this one up. I got the usual proverbial question today.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't you retired yet?
Oh, I thought it was this one.
Huh?
I thought it would have been this one.
Really, this is the next cab off the rank now is getting all these supports in place, finishing off the golden. A little bit out of range, but I think we'll be okay. And then this one is going to come in here.
Ah, yep.
So, how's that?
Hollywood, mate.
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Well, I think it's beer o'clock, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were taking me, told me to bring the peanuts so you could bring the single malt. Ah, that looks good. And that's how they do it in Texas.
Sorry?
And that's how they do it in Texas.
Yeah.
Or West Texas.